they stand in the cold waiting for instructions from a Ukrainian soldier. This is one of only 2 places where people can cross the more than 400-kilometer front line in eastern Ukraine.
We haven't been able to freely come and see our relatives and friends for more than 7 years. Both sides make obstacles for us. I'm using my Ukrainian passport and they now say it's not enough for me to cross. I have to go online. I've been trying for 3 days.
Many of the elderly and infirm came to the Ukrainian government-controlled side to collect their pensions, which are only around $100 a month. The first separatist checkpoint is around 3 kilometers down this road. Now, before the conflict started in 2014, the journey time from the town of Donetsk to here was around 30 minutes. But now, because of the complexities of travelling across the separatist-controlled region, many people decide to come via the Russian border, and that can take more than a day. Nikolai is accompanying his wife to separatist-controlled Donetsk. He can't find a nearby hospital on the government-controlled side that can carry out the life-saving operation he says she needs.
I'm 80 years old and lived through so much. I hope my children and grandchildren can live a better life. I just hope doctors can save my wife, as they say hope dies last. It's so difficult. It's terrible that this happens to us at our age.
The checkpoint is only open twice a week. Red Cross trucks pass carrying tons of aid for around 3 million people the UN expects to need humanitarian assistance next year. And that's on both sides of the front line. Soldiers tell us they hear shelling a few kilometers from here every night. Ceasefire monitors with the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe say both sides regularly break the ceasefire agreement signed in 2015. Mikhail has just arrived from separatist-controlled Donetsk.
All my friends who wanted to leave and most of my family have left. Some to Ukraine or Russia, some to Europe. Many still there miss what life was like before 2014.
They wait for a seat on the bus to take them across what's called no man's land. Fields they never imagined they'd be afraid of before this conflict started more than 7.5 years ago. Charles Strapp at Al Jazeera, Novel.
Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Brakatham, to the hopefully elect. And this is just a real quick, one of 2 videos that I'm going to play, because it's pretty much going to be another edition of Coming to America, man. You know, because here it is, pretty much the beast, more and more, it's been speaking, all right, because like in other places, like Greece, man, Greece, I believe, they said something about how people over, I think it was like 60 or 65 or whatever, that don't want to comply with the Vanessa, you know, they're going to be fined, and, you know, as well as, you know, all these travel restrictions due to this so-called new variant, you know, the supposed new variant that's spreading, you know, oh so quickly, right? And I believe Biden said something about basically tightening the screws on international travel. So I gotta look into that more. But basically, it's going to be more difficult if you don't want to take the Vanessa. You know, it's going to be more difficult to travel internationally. You know, and to come to America and whatnot. You know. So yeah, man, they're basically tightening their grip. They're tightening the screws on the world, man. Because going back to, I mentioned this before with Europe, man. You had this EU commissioner chick. Pretty much, she was talking about how, and I don't know if she meant for just the EU nations or just in general. You know, she was talking about the world, but she was basically talking about, or she was suggesting See if I can find that real quick. Find that video real quick. All right, because pretty much with this video here that I just played, because there's a lot of tension going on, because I was planning on doing like a World War III update, but every time I think I'm gonna get around to it, some new information comes out. So just sitting back and just watching, because that's what we're supposed to do, right? But part of the whole tensions with the World War III, man, is this whole escalation with Russia and the Ukraine. All right. And because of that, with all the tension between those two nations, pretty much they got checkpoints, and like they said here, man, trying to get to certain resources, it's a lot difficult. It's much more difficult, due to this whole border thing and whatnot. All right. Which again, that's going to come to America soon. All right. Because, best believe, man, or believe it or not, over here in America, man, they're going to shut things back down, but just real quick, and I might kind of be all over the place with this, because this is just so much coming out, and this is why, because I was going to do these two videos, I was going to do separate lessons on them, but it ties in. So, because I'm going to bring out the same precepts. So, I just said I might as well just do them together, but trying to find this video of exactly what this chick, what she was talking about and what she's going into, because like I said, man, hey, the beast is they're cracking down, man. They're tightening their screws, man. Which brothers starting from the top, man, and all the way on down, man. You said these things, man. Just bear with me real quick. Because, with this whole new variant, man, supposedly there's cases popping up in New York and Jersey. They already found cases in California. So, hey, man, this thing is also spreading so quickly. Like I said, which not so coincidentally, the guy pretty much, Bill Gates guy, pretty much predicting another outbreak of a particular disease or whatnot, right? Which we should know by now that, these things are all orchestrated. All right. And, like I said, as brothers say, because they need the justification in bringing in the order. So, Lord's will, with this whole new variant that's spreading oh so quickly. All right. This could be it. And this could be the justification on shutting this place back down. And you see, with that being said, it's going to cause more division on top of the division that's already taking place now. Because, matter of fact, as I'm looking for this, I'm going to go ahead and play this second clip, right? This guy DeSantis in Florida and what he's talking about, what he's proposing. So yeah, with that, with that, because again, this guy, DeSantis out here in Florida, man, he's basically talking about basically formalizing his own military, and one that doesn't report to the federal government or whatever. Basically he wants to establish his military in which he's in control. All right. And they're talking about a lot of red states doing this, and I believe some red states are already talking about this as well. So hey man, there's a great revolt brewing out here, man. All right. Because if you don't know, this guy DeSantis and Joe Biden, man, these two alone, they've been going back and forth, man. Because with this whole campaign that Biden is pushing, DeSantis, he's pretty much on the side of, listen, man, this is all shit. It's all full of shit. We're gonna do our own thing. Leave us alone. All right. It's pretty much the attitude and the spirit that this guy's coming in. All right. And like I said, other red states as well. So hey, a great revolt is brewing up. And again, like I said, coming to America, man. Because hey, with all the division that's going on right now, Republicans and Democrats are at each other's throats. All right. And here it is. They just narrowly escaped, or I'm not going to say escape, but they just narrowly avoided another government shutdown. Right. Because here it is. The Democrats are going to, they want to basically print all this money that they don't have. They want to spend all this money that they don't have. And the Republicans are like, nah, man, we're not with it. So both these parties, man, they're going back and forth. They're down each other's throats, man. One is blaming the other, right? Because, the constant talk of a government shutdown, one side is blaming the other side, I'm going to get this real quick, right? See if I can find this. Isaiah chapter 19, I think. Isaiah chapter 19. Isaiah chapter 19 in verse 11, it says, surely the princes of Zoan are fools. The counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh is become brutish. How say ye unto Pharaoh, I am the son of the wise, the son of the ancient kings? Where are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what the Lord of hosts hath proposed upon Egypt. The princes of Zoan are fools. The princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Nob are deceived. They also have seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. All right. And when you read on down, it goes on to the how the Lord is mingling a perverse spirit he's mingling a perverse spirit in Egypt. All right. And that's what you see going on. But nevertheless, I read these few verses going into these so-called wise men. All right. Because these are the people who, the people look up to. This is supposed to be the wise men of these different provinces and whatnot, these governors and mayors and whatnot. All right. And then, hey, the Lord said, hey, they're fools, man. Because I put it like this. I say this sometimes, man. If you want a good comedy outside of watching comedy, get into politics, man. Because it's nothing but one big shit show, right? When you see all these guys going back and forth with one another, because again, clearly the division is being set. All right. Both parties, they blame each other when something happens or when something doesn't get passed or whatever the case may be. It's a big shit show, man. All right. I never been into politics until I came into this truth. And, as I grew in this truth, and like I said, man, it's just, funny to see these guys going at it, man. Cause with that being said, because when you read this chapter, man, it goes into basically civil unrest. All right. And that's what's getting ready to take place. Cause again, the times are going to come where, like they played in the first clip, because again, with the division that's being set, all right, pretty much, put it like this, man. You have you try to go into one place, man, and you may be of a particular party, and because you have those values or whatever, or put it like this, man. Like you're a Democrat, you hold Democratic views, and you try to go into basically a Republican state. All right, let's say, what's this guy out there in New York, man? De Blasio, right? Try to come to Florida, right? And they say, nah, man, you can't come here, because pretty much because what you kind of see going on right now, if you're paying attention, is like I said, this is just a small example of what this guy DeSantis is, what he's proposing. All right, basically forming his own military away from the one that the federal government is not in control, right? Because like I was saying, what you're pretty much seeing, man, is a lot of these provinces in Babylon are pretty much kind of like trying to become their own sovereign nation or their own sovereign state or whatever the case may be. They're trying to go astray from the government, right? And hey, man, you better look what happened to Texas, because Texas was one of those, they pretty much talked about doing their own thing, and look what happened to them, and if you know, but who's to say that something doesn't happen here in Florida, right? But nevertheless, man, again, going back to what I was saying, because the time is going to come where, because like I said, with the whole travel restrictions that's going on right now due to the supposed new variant, right? Because like I said, man, hey, brothers have been saying it. All right, hey, you can expect more lockdowns, shutdowns, and things of that nature. It's coming, man. In the days of, desiring to see loved ones and family relatives and stuff like that, it's going to become a lot more difficult. All right, because the days of just being able to just get abroad and just go out and have the liberty to just go wherever you want. Them days is coming to an end. All right, here it is. They're proposing this bill out there in New York, where basically, man, if you don't want to take the Vanessa, they could throw you in the what camps, and this is stuff that's not being reported on in the mainstream media, because like I said here, I'm gonna read this one more time in Isaiah 19. Isaiah 19. Isaiah 19, verse 13 again, it says, the princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Nob are deceived. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. All right. And this is how we know it's talking about America, because nowhere on the planet do you have all the 12 tribes in one place at the same time. That's why it's one of the main reasons why America is known as spiritual Egypt. All right. Because all the 12 tribes are here. All right. All the 12 tribes are scattered everywhere. Right. But as far as all the 12 tribes being in one place. All right. That's here in America, Babylon the Great. All right. But nevertheless, again, they're seduced to the Israelites. All right. They're seduced, man. They're deceived. They have no idea what's going on. Right. They think everything's all good. They really do believe that things are going to go back to normal and all this other things. Right. When y'all have no idea, man. Hey, like I said, man, hey, civil unrest is brewing. All right. Civil war is coming, man. All right. It's just a matter of time. You're going to have clash wars, a race, all type of stuff going on, man. And this is what's being stirred up. Via the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Like I said, when you read on this chapter, the scripture say the Lord mingled a perverse spirit. So the Lord is causing all this. He's stirring all this up. All right. So it's just a matter of time, man. I'm going to get this in Second Ezra 16. Oh, excuse me. Well, there's one in Second Ezra 16. Let me read that first. Second Ezra 16. And because, you got a small glimpse. You see, because this is, as it's been said before, with the whole lockdowns and the year 2020, man, it was a lot of things, a lot of spiritual gems, because talk about how the Lord, he sends his scourges for an amendment. Pretty much, the Lord sends jab shots to let you know, man, that, hey, get ready, man, because it's about to go down. And we got a lot of that, back in 2020, right, where you had the different protests and uproars of the people, right? And not only that, you had autonomous zones, right? Ambulances couldn't get to the hospitals and all type of stuff going on. You see, and what are you going to do when, hey, a certain province in your city is blocked off or even quarantined, right? Nothing coming in, nothing coming out, right? What are you going to do when, and health aid services, the nearest health aid service, because that's what's going on in the first clip that I played with the whole Russia and Ukraine border thing that's going on over there, right? People trying to get surgery and you see the doctor, but they can't get past the border, right? Or like I said, it's taking a lot longer. The process is a hell of a lot longer to do so, right? People trying to get the pension and all type of stuff. What are you gonna do when, hey, like I said, when because hey, even the IMF came out and talked about how, hey man, the economy is on the verge of a collapse, man. A lot of these economies are already collapsing, but hey, America is no different. This place is on the verge of a economic collapse. All right, you can expect higher inflation, which 2022. I'm gonna just say it, man. Lord's will, this is the year that hyperinflation comes, right? So things ain't looking up for this place. All right. And it's not going to get better. So like I said, with that being said, what are you going to do when, health aid services, the closest ones to you is outside of your jurisdiction, so to say, it's outside of your province, right? Because, places are shut down and certain places are cut off and quarantined, whatever the case may be, right? Because like I said, the times where you can just go out and go to the grocery store freely, them days is coming to an end, all right? Here it is, food banks are running out of food, right? Soon here in America, man, you're gonna see what do you call it? Portions and rationings of food. You're gonna it's gonna be something straight out of a movie, man, right? And with that being said, like I said, with this whole new variant, right? And who's to say that, say it all the time, man, who's to say that, they don't put something out there? Because like I said, Bill Gates is predicting an outbreak of a particular disease I'm not going to name, right? And who's to say they don't release something out here to where you really start seeing people drop dead, and that gives them the justification on martial law. And who's to say these these are the things to we gotta beware of on the back of our mind, because hey man, the devil's time is running short, so he's got to make moves. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, he's moving. Like I said, hey, the beast, is tightening his grip. What you see going on out there in Greece. Here it is, Germany. We got to pray for it, because you got brothers out there in Germany prophesying, prophets in Germany. So we got to pray for our brothers and sisters, out there in Germany. All right, because they're talking about, basically locking down the unvenest. All right, So, the beast is tightening his grip, man. All right, and I'm going back to what I was mentioning with this EU commissioner, this chick, she was talking about mandatory Vanessa's, man. So the beast is tightening his grip. All right, and it's like, again, man, it's just a matter of time before that shit hits here in America. Humanitarian crisis. Places like Afghanistan and Lebanon. Done videos on them. Suffering all type of humanitarian crisis and food crisis and all type of crises are going on, man. All right. I'm going to read this in 2nd Ezra 16. 2nd Ezra 16. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 27, it says, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. All right. And pretty much he's not going to be able to. All right. You're not going to be able to, because meanwhile, on top of all this, like I said, man, there's just so much information going on right now, coming out, man. They were talking about let me see if I have it queued up. I saw the title. I was like, oh, they get ready to do something. See if I have it queued up, because they were talking about damn. It was not a EMT, but basically something with the internet going out or something like that. No, I got it saved up somewhere. But basically, it was something going into cyber attacks. More cyber attacks. All right, because soon this internet is not going to be up forever, man. Brothers said this in the last street teaching, man. Brothers ain't going to be out there on the highways and byways forever. Brothers ain't going to be putting up these videos and these shows forever, man. All right, the days are going to come where that's it, and that's ultimately the Lord. Amos 8:11. That's ultimately the Lord. Closing up the ministry. All right. So the time, them days is coming where, desiring to hear brothers' voices and, check up on loved ones and family members and all that stuff, man. Them days is coming to an end. All right. Because, everything's going to be shut down. Everything's going to be tracked, monitored, traced, controlled. All right. That's why I'm going to go to 2 Edges 15. And that's why I went ahead and, pretty much put these two videos in one lesson. Because like I said, it ties in. 2 Edges 15 and 15, it says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." And this is a little glimpse of that. What this guy's DeSantis is talking about, forming his own military, right? One that the federal government doesn't control, right? That's a form of people standing up and saying or taking matters into their own hands, basically, because that's what this is going into, pretty much. People taking matters into their own hands. All right. But who's to say that? Hey, let's say they do get this, off the ground, and you have civilians they've trained up or whatnot. All right, but who's to say that? Hey, man, they just don't get what do you call it? I forgot the term for it, but basically when people when they let the power get to their head, all right. Nobody can tell them nothing. And who's to say that, these people, if Florida establishes pretty much his own military, who's to say that, that shit doesn't get to these people's heads and they start doing what they want, start taking advantage of the less fortunate, right? Because, we know the scriptures talk about how, houses are going to get spoiled, women are going to get ravished, raped, all that stuff, man. All right. Now we know that, it's going to, eventually something's going to happen to where them foreign troops and blue hats is going to come over here to America. But again, who's to say that, his own citizens, like I said, taking advantage of the lesser fortunate, right? You see, man, this is why we're going to have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, dealing with us, man. Because if you don't have that hedge of protection, then, you're not going to make it. And it's spiritual because, brothers have been doing all type of videos on how judgment has been coming to these women. All right. A lot of you women that you think you can do bad all by yourself. Well, like we always say, keep that same attitude. Keep that same attitude. All right. You want to be all big and bad, tough guy. Right. When it's time to make big boy decisions, you're going to fold, man. Right. But reading on to verse 16, it says, "For there shall be a sedition among men, and in invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes in the course of their powers. In the course of their actions, stop standing their power." So, like I said, people taking matters into their own hands, and this is a form of that. All right, pretty much going astray from the government, and forming their own military and whatnot. This is a form of that. All right, sedition, because like I said, hey man, there's a great revolt coming, man. All right, but I'm also reading verse 17. It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." Why? Because everything's going to be cut off. Certain places are going to be cut off. You're not going to just be able to just, freely go into, certain provinces and stuff like that, man. All right. Because, I've said it several times, man. And like I said before, because we got glimpses of that during the first lockdowns, man. Checkpoints, people checking papers. All right. Asking questions, where you're going, and, all that stuff, man. All right. That's coming back. All right. So this is what we can get ready for, man. And this is why, hey, man, I try to tell a few of my loved ones to, hey, man, stay hunkered up, man. This isn't the time to be traveling. You know, even traveling domestically, man, you gotta be careful with that, man. You know, because hey, some places, you know, due to this whole new variant, some places, man, they're you got people, or I guess it's like tourists, right? They're pretty much stuck because, again, going into these whole travel bans and whatnot. You know, people that have traveled and whatnot to different places, and due to these travel restrictions, they can't go back home. You know, so you know they're stuck wherever they're at. So, like I said, hey, this is why, you know, it's better to stay hunkered down, man. You know, stay close to your relatives. You know, you got family, wife, kid. Hey, man, you know, it's better to, you know, everyone stay put, man. All right, because you know we know that the when the Lord brings His wrath, man, it's going to be suddenly. It's going to be out of nowhere, and it's any day now. You know, any second, any millisecond, all hell can break loose, and we got to be in this mindset, man. You know, so yeah, man, that was pretty much it, man. You know, I hope this was edifying, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, Brakathum to the hopefully elect. Lord's willing, to next time, Shalom.